Hello student, how are you? Very good morning. Today's topic, some materials sink and some float in water. Okay, this topic will taken from grade 5th and based on CBSE pattern. So this is Amita. Let's start. Some materials sink and some float in water. Firstly, draw a beaker here. Firstly, draw a beaker and fill with water. 2/3 and 2/3 of water fill with beaker. Okay, this is a water, and this is beaker. Here, beaker. Float in water or sand. Beaker, this one, beaker. Firstly, know about some materials sink in water and some float in water. So firstly, some material sink in water. Sink in water. How can prove? So let's start with experiment. Here, take a beaker and fill about 2/3 of water. 2/3 of it water, and drop on iron nail. Here, consider that this is an iron nail. Drop on iron nail. This one. This is showing on your screen. This one, iron nail. Okay, drop on iron nail. Firstly, take a beaker and fill with 2/3 of water in it, and take a iron nail and drop this iron nail in beaker. Okay, drop iron nail in it. Okay, and then what can the iron nail sink in water? Then when put the iron nail in beaker, we can see here, and this experiment show the iron settle down in the beaker. Sink in beaker. Settle down. Okay, in the surface of beaker. The iron nail sink in water and settle down at the beaker. At the bottom of beaker. This. Settle down. So, prove that those things sink in water that are heavier than water. Those things sink in water that proves heavier than water. Okay, those things sink in water. It proves iron heavier than water because made of iron. Okay, so we say that iron is heavier than water. So how can prove iron heavier than water, and what things those things sink in water, and how can prove those things sink in water? And here we can say here, we show here on your screen, this is a diagram of beaker, and firstly take a beaker and 2/3 of water in it, filled with 2/3 of water in its 2/3 of water in it, and iron nail sink. Drop the iron nail, sink in beaker, and we after that we see here into the beaker, the iron nail drop and settle down at the bottom of beaker. Iron nail settle down at the bottom of beaker. So here, bottom. This is the bottom of beaker. Okay. So I prove that iron is heavier than water. Then iron nail settle down on at the bottom of beaker. So let's take here. Take a beaker. We can write here. You can write on your book. Take a beaker. Take a beaker. Fill about 2/3 of it. Fill about 2/3. Fill about 2/3. Fill about 2/3 of it with water. Of it with water. Okay, take a beaker, fill about 2/3 of it with water, and then drop an iron nail in it. Drop an iron nail in it. This one. This is an iron nail. Drop an iron nail in it and show the iron nail sink in the water. The iron nail sink in the water. Sink in the water. The iron nail sink in the water and settle down at the bottom of beaker. You can see here, already show here in this diagram, the iron nail sink in beaker and settle down at the bottom of beaker. At the bottom of beaker. Settle down bottom of beaker. Only those things sink in the water that are heavier than water. Only those things. Very important line. Only those things, just like iron and copper, aluminium, iron, copper, aluminium, stone, chalk, are heavier than water and sink them in the water. Only those things. Sink. Here, underlined, sink in the water, then heavier than water. That are 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 heavier than water. Okay? That are heavier than water. So we say that iron is heavier than water. So we can prove here iron nail heavier than water. Iron nail heavier than. So we say iron nail heavier than water. Okay, so prove that here. Prove that Some materials sink in water. Revise again. Take a beaker, fill about two-thirds of it with water. Drop an iron nail in it. Two-thirds of it water and drop iron nail in it. The iron nail sink in the water. The iron nail sink in the water. This one is iron nail. This one. Iron nail sink in the water and settle down at the bottom of beaker. Only those sink in water that are heavier than water. Those things sink in water that are heavier than water. We say here iron nail heavier than water. So we will end this video here. And I will request to all, please subscribe, like, more, share and press red button for upcoming notification. Previous video link I will put up in this video description box. All playlists created by me. Please go to my science fact channel and find out more video and more knowledgeable topics. Any subjects of knowledgeable topics of video uploaded there. Please find out and gain knowledge with this channel, Science Facts. So take care. Goodbye.